Today, I will share with you two main differences that you will face or you will experience when collaborating with the businesses from the other countries. And it doesn't matter, are you Asian, are you European or US company. Every single time when you begin collaboration with a company from other country with the different culture, you will experience those two big challenges. At the end of the episode, I will also share with you how to overcome them so you can have a more successful and more fruitful global collaboration. Let's get into it. My name is Adam Skoneczny and this is Go Global Asia podcast. For last 8 years, I've been living in Asia, and for last 6 years as a CEO of EBIT organization, I've been helping Asian IT companies and Vietnamese IT companies to expand their business to the global market. In this podcast, you will hear everything related to sales in IT industry, as well as collaboration with global clients. Today is one of the episodes that I really like to record, and the reason is that it's because it's focusing on strategy. That's the first thing. Second thing, it's focusing on the very important aspect, and I can say one of the main problem that the people they are experiencing on the daily basis when they collaborate in the global environment, when they collaborate with the global client, but they experiencing this on the unconscious level. That means they're not really aware of the problem that is happening, but the problem it's really affect their collaboration and their business. So today it will be a really strategic episode. Today there will be a little bit psychology, and obviously there will be actionable steps to take that help us remove problems and have the better and more successful global collaboration. Okay, so as I mentioned, there will be two main challenges, and let me start with number one, which is business ethic. Every country, every nationality, every culture, they might have a different business ethic. And if we understand this business ethic very well, if we conduct our business the same way as our business partner require, then the closing the deal and working with those partners, it will be much easier. So this is very important point to understand the business ethic. And when we're talking about the business ethic, there are few elements that we should focus on. First of element is communication. So what is the common way of communicating in this environment? So let's say you are working with a Asian company. Let's say we are working with Southeast Asian company. Let's assume that this company is from Vietnam. So it will be very well perceived if you start your conversation with a chit chat, with asking the question about the food, about the family, and other things that can help you create relationship. Another thing, you need to be aware that you should use indirect communication when you talking with those people, let's say from the Vietnam. So the communication is one of aspects. Second, negotiation. How they negotiate. Are they really like tough negotiator? Do they negotiate at all? You know, if you go to Indonesia, if you go to Bali and you negotiate with the people there, you can be really tough, seriously, really tough. You can come out with the crazy prices and they never get offended. And they always do it with the smile on their face. And it's so nice and pleasant to negotiate with them. You know, I bought so many unnecessary things in Indonesia because I just want to negotiate with them everywhere. So negotiation, there is the second point. Next, it's a sales process. How the sales process look like? How you should approach to the client? What is important for them when you are presenting the product or service? Are there more focus on the value that to present to them, or they're more focused on the solving the problems? On the maybe they're more focused on the risk. So the countries and the people you're working with, they will have a tendencies to moving into one of this direction, you need to be aware which direction is important for the culture you're working with. Next, are they relationship oriented or outcome oriented? And this is really important point which many people can miss because it's really related to deep culture habits, let's say like that. So there are some cultures that there are focus on the relationship, and relationship is for them much more important than anything else. So you can see that in Southeast Asia, people will work with the friends, with the family members, and even though they cannot deliver you the greatest result, they will still have to hire there or work with them because this is what the culture requires. However, in some other cultures, let's say in Europe, let's think about the Poland or let's think about the US, people are really, really focused on the outcome you can deliver. So it doesn't matter much whose son you are, whose uncle you are, or whose nephew you are. It's matter how much value you can deliver to the business. And to be honest with you, even if you are a stranger, you can build up your way to become director and even beyond that. So again, relationship oriented or outcome oriented people, we need to be aware where they have a tendency to move in. Next, and the last is how the people perceive the value. So if you doing the sales and if you are selling some product or services, you need to show a value to the people, and how the other side perceive the value, it's really important. So you need to understand that some businesses will perceive the value purely on the dollar amount, but some businesses or some cultures, even I would say, they will perceive the value on the relationship and customer service you can create with them. So let's imagine you working with a Southeast Asian company. Let's imagine that you're working with Japanese company. If you create with them relationship, strong relationship, they perceive this as a huge value for them. And when you be able to do that, they be actually also very forgetful if you make some mistakes and things like that. So the value people are perceived, it could be different in different country, in different cultures. So you need to be aware what kind of people you're working with and how to present them value that they feel it is valuable for them. So this is the point number one and challenge number one, which is business ethic. Let me move to point number two, which is work ethic. And when I'm talking about work ethic, I list out few elements that will be extremely important and will affect your quality of the collaboration. So the first is proactive versus reactive working style. So what is the proactive working style? Proactive working style is really well perceived in the countries such as Poland, where people expecting that you will come first with the idea, you will share the idea, you will be open about the feedback, you will do the things before somebody tell you. The proactive approach, it's usually I describe it with this example. When we go to the doctor, we expect that the doctor tell us what is wrong with us. We don't tell doctor what they should do. And this is the same with, let's say, Polish people. When they hiring, let's say, engineer, when they hiring consultant, when they hiring specialist, they expect that this specialist will tell them what to do. And for many of you, that might sound, okay, Adam, it's so obvious. Why are you talking about this? Because for some cultures, it's not so obvious. Opposite example is Japan. Japan hiring engineers and actually they telling them what to do exactly, and they expecting that those engineers will follow step by step what they said to them. So when we consider about the example I gave you with the doctor, it will be basically you go to doctor and tell him what to do, and That's a different culture. I am not here to the judge is it good or bad. They are like one of the top 5 economies in the world. That means it's working for them. So we just need to be aware of this. Okay, so let me move forward. Next is working standard. Each business has their own working standards. Each country has their own working standard. And to make our project successful, we need to be aware of them. And some example of working standard, and let's say in the IT environment and with the company that is providing IT services, it would be testing the code. In Poland, for instance, the developer, they have a tendency to test their own code. They follow with continuous implementation and continuous deployment methodology. However, in Vietnam, let's say where the workforce is cheap, they usually have separate people to do testing for them. So we need to be aware of that. Another is programming standards. What standards they're using? Design patterns, programming principles. And to be honest with you, it's not only that the company give this standard and principles. I notice by when I working with so many different nationalities that each nationality they have their own preference. And like for instance, in Ireland they like to use this keys principle. Keep it simple, stupid. In Poland, they love solid, and most of the companies they use it. So you need to be aware of the working standard to make your project much easier and successful, obviously. Next, it's communication, and you can see that the communication I have in the both. I have it in the business ethic and I have it in work ethic, and the reason is because it's extremely important. And I don't think I need to explain you why it's extremely important, but let me give you some explanation why, how we can actually, or how can it affect work ethic. So communication, let's say we're working with pragmatic, super pragmatic people, let's say from Ukraine or Switzerland. With those people, any conversation about their family, about what they eat for the dinner, or what is their plan for the weekend, it would be not really well perceived. You will not be able to build a relationship with them like that, at least not on the early stages of collaboration. However, on the other hand, if you look at the countries where are more focused on a relationship. Conversation about the families, wives, children's, food, weather, whatever, it's quite well perceived and it can help to build very successful, pleasant collaboration. Next is project management and reporting. Project management, it can look completely different in the different cultures, different countries. We need to be aware of this. So, for instance, in India, you might expect micromanagement. It will be required. For instance, in Eastern Europe, Central Europe, and Germany, Western Europe, you can expect that people are more independent and they expect to hear one big task and they are able to in many situations to spread it on the smaller task and continue with this much more independently. So this is something what you need to consider. Additionally, reporting. Some cultures they have a tendency to report on the daily basis, even the smallest things what they did. But some countries, some different cultures, they have a tendency to call to you once a month because they believe that you know what they doing and you know that they will deliver wherever will happen. So they don't need to report. What is important is basically to be aware again of those differences and act appropriately if they happen. So we already explained those two elements. Now, as I promised you, it's time to share some ideas how you can fix them up, how you get familiar with them, and how you make collaboration, how you can make sales process, how you can make the business environment much better. First of all, something what might surprise you, but I am recommending you to get local friend. What that mean? If you're planning to enter a new market, if you're planning this seriously, if you have a long-term plan, get some friends from that market and see how they are. See how they talk about business. See how they talk about life. Ask them question how it's in their company. This is huge amount of knowledge for you, free knowledge, and in my opinion, from my perception, it's also entertaining. I love culture difference. I love spending time with people. I like ask them thousands of questions. Many people they say I am extremely curious, and I agree with that. That's why I say it's a entertaining and pleasureful. Recommend you get your local friend, and your local friend can help you on the two level. First of all, if your friend is business oriented, he can help you with business ethic. Second, if he is employee or he was employee, he can also tell you about the work ethic in the companies. So this kind of friend is priceless, but be aware of one thing. If you are finding and talking to the local person, they might not be aware of the differences and they might not expose them to you. So there is another option. You can actually get a friendship also with expats living in this country for a very long time, who has a very good understanding of the culture, who can speak the local language, because if you don't speak local language, in my opinion, you cannot understand the culture. And then talk with them, because they will be able to show you from the both sides and the differences. So that's number one advice what you can do. Next, talk to salespeople. If you are urgent, if you need to go ahead with your project quickly, what you can do, you can talk to the salespeople. And this is one of my secret tactic whenever I am entering new market. And seriously, this work like magic. To all my lovely salespeople, which I am one of them as well. I actually, each person watching this and each person in the world, in my opinion, is salesperson, because we selling all the time. We selling ideas. We selling what restaurant we want to eat and things like that. We selling the information, the ideas where we want to go on the dates. Anyway, I guess you understand my point. But talking to the professional salespeople, it's one of my secret. What I like to do before I start working with other businesses in the country, I am connecting on LinkedIn with the salespeople, top salespeople from that industry. And I am sending them message, something like this. Hi, John. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I've been following up your profile for a little while, and I see you are extremely experienced sales or business development representative in the Switzerland in the IT industry. I am planning to discover this market in the very near future, and I'm very appreciate your content that you are sharing. I am wondering if this is possible that I could treat you with an online coffee. I would like to just listen a little bit of your experience, and then if you feel this is valuable, I can share you my experience from Vietnam, Poland, wherever. I would highly appreciate your time, and in the future, if I can help you with anything, I would be more than happy to pay back this favor. Guys, this kind of message, it has really high conversion. I can say that more than 50% of people, they will agree for that. And there are two reasons. One, because this message is amazing. Obviously, I'm not trying to be arrogant. The main reason is that salespeople, they love to talk. That's it. And as you see now, I'm talking a lot. But generally, salespeople love to talk, and they don't mind meeting. And I did try this in many different countries, seriously, and it's always worked like magic. Highly recommend you. You got my secret now, and try it out. Next, what I am recommending is actually to be open with your client. From time to time, when you will discuss, when you will be engaged in the project or when you will be engaged in the sales process, you might feel that something is wrong. And then I recommend you to be very transparent with your client. To be honest, this kind of situation happened me 2 days ago, where I went to one IT service provider to offer them my IT services, and the CEO was talking in Vietnamese, and I was talking in Vietnamese. So even though my Vietnamese is pretty good, I don't feel that my level is so high that I can do the business talks. But I stuck in this situation and I had to go through, and there was miscommunication and misunderstanding, and I didn't afraid to repeat 3 times the same question. And I wasn't afraid to tell him, listen, I don't understand. This doesn't make sense for me. Can you explain me? And then after third time, he explained me exactly what he meant. And then we say, oh, okay, now I understand. And the thing is that we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be like doing this. Oh, I have no idea what he wants. Faces. Just basically ask and try. And don't be afraid to ask 2 or 3 times. Next, you can join to the pro bono project, meaning join to the project that you can engage for free, and you can do some activities with them. Like there are a lot of groups, I think on Discord, Facebook, where you can join with other developers. You can join hackathons, you can join some open source projects, and you can learn from them. You can see how they talk, how they interact, and also it can be very nice adventure for you to discuss and learn directly on the during the work, let's say like that. And the last but not least, I guess there are many different options, but last but not least is do the research. In internet, you have so much information now. There are the books actually about different cultures. So again, if you're taking the global expansion seriously, and if you want to build long-term collaboration, if you want to engage in very potential deal, if you want to build the friends, if you want to enter this Asian market, potentially develop here, work with that Japanese client, invest little bit time, invest little bit effort, and research about them. Find information, learn, and then practice. And that would be it. Um, Again, as I said before, today podcast is more about like strategic approach and to collaboration and to delivery. To be honest with you, as I said on the beginning, I guess most of you who are engaged with the global client experiencing these problems, what I mentioned, but maybe unconsciously, or maybe you don't want to touch them because you don't know how. I hope after today's episode, you know already how to sort them out, you know how to prepare, and you know what to do next time when you face this kind of challenges. I highly encourage you to get deeper into this challenge. On our website, www.evit-org.com, we have a blog where actually there is few blog posts where I describe it much deeper about difference between the Asian cultures and Western cultures. So this is also a place where you can do a little bit research and get more information. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much. This was Go Global Asia podcast, and I wish you great day ahead. Bye bye.